It's that time again, Fortnite fans, where we're approaching the end of a season and the player base is getting restless. Features that got glowing praise just weeks ago are now getting tiresome, and weapons and items that once brought excitement are now dull and a chore to use. What is it about Fortnite that causes this cycle, this rise in hype followed by a plateau of stagnation, and then a slow but steady drop off in excitement as we get ready for the next season in the chapter? Today I wanted to take some time to talk about not just Fortnite but live service games in general, and probably more importantly, our relationship with these live service games as players. First and foremost up front, I am going to let you guys know that this video will be a little different than other videos I've done in the past. If you're subscribed to the channel, you may have seen my recent community post stating that I needed to take some time away from my usual process for making these videos in order to address some more pressing stuff with my family. As always, personal life comes first before video games and before YouTube. So needless to say, while I had a rough outline for the script of this video, I didn't get around to fully scripting it. A lot of this will be off the cuff, kind of me going off of bullet points that I had for the video, but speaking from my heart and without a script. So if it comes off a little disjointed or awkward, that's why. I appreciate you guys bearing with me as I get everything sorted in my personal life, but without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in. Now, it is no surprise for anybody who's had any experience playing live service games that players get a little burnt out near the end of a season in Fortnite. This same pattern happens over and over again with any live service game that I've ever explored, but I think that the problem itself is kind of exacerbated by the way that Fortnite is currently structured and how they deliver their content. For those of you that are fans of Call of Duty, you may be familiar with the Call of Duty cycle, where players are playing the current Call of Duty and getting bored of it, and then some information starts coming out about the new game and everybody gets excited. That new game finally drops and everybody is having the best time of their lives for a couple of weeks, but then the blemishes start to show through the rose-tinted goggles, and before we know it, everybody is over the new game. Content creators dogpile on all the criticism, the community at large agrees, and then we anxiously await the new game, restarting the entire cycle. Now, this may not be entirely accurate, especially for the current Call of Duty game that's about to release, but for the most part, this pattern has been consistent for at least the last decade. What I have found as a fan of multiplayer online games and live service games is that this pattern is kind of repeated within each season of content. Players will get tired of the offerings that the current season has and anxiously will look forward to the new season, the new hotness, the new freshness to kind of break up the monotony. Then eventually that new content does drop and oh my gosh, it's the best thing ever, everybody is having such a great time until they're not. At that point, they kind of get fed up with it and they get bored of it and they look forward to the next thing. Now, I'm new to Fortnite, but from what I've seen in my time over the past year or so covering the game, this pattern not only repeats itself every single season, but also repeats itself in a larger way on a grander scale with the entire chapter. So we're seeing this same kind of hype cycle happen with Season 1, Season 2, Mini Season 1, Season 3, Season 4, and then finally Mini Season 2. With the community consensus around the entire chapter being, oh my gosh, the excitement of a new chapter, and now it's kind of getting stale, and now I just want it to be over with. In a way, I think this explains a couple of things. This explains why Fortnite players in particular seem to have live service game fatigue so frequently. Sure, Epic Games does a great job of delivering new content and exciting collaborations and new things to try out, new weapons and items and new objectives around the map to keep things feeling exciting and fresh, but there will always be that cycle, repeating every season and then repeating in a larger way every chapter. It's almost like dopamine overload, where you get so many new and exciting things shown to you, thrown into your face, and then eventually you just become numb to it all. It doesn't matter if the new gimmick of the season or the new side objective is objectively good or not. It's the fact that this is yet another new side objective being shown to you as a player. It's only natural that over time you would become burnt out by that and kind of become immune to the new freshness of it. As a new player of the game myself, I still find something each and every season to be excited about, but I can definitely see and understand how a longtime player of the game would be a little tired by now. Let's take a look at a couple of examples from my past to kind of give you an idea of what I mean, and we've already talked about Call of Duty, so let's talk about some other games that I was addicted to that were live service games. If you're familiar with Destiny, you know that is a franchise that has experienced some major ups and some major downs. I was one of those players that played from the beta of Destiny all the way back in the day, and I remember eagerly awaiting each new piece of content that was going to be delivered to us. I would specifically save my PTO at work to make sure I could take off multiple days when new chapters or expansions launched, just so I could spend as much time as possible exploring this universe I loved. And while there is a lot you could say about what we were delivered in each individual expansion in Destiny and Destiny 2, I think at the very least you could say that there was at least always something to check out, something new, something exciting to explore. I loved Destiny. In a lot of ways, I still do, but I have taken a major step away from that franchise because I just got tired of it. And yes, it could be the fatigue of things never really turning out how they were promised to be delivered, but I think a bigger part of it is I just had played that game for a decade. I had had a lot of time in it, I enjoyed my time, and it was time for me to explore other games and play something else. Another great example of this is the Battle Royale game that I sunk the most time into before my time here with Fortnite, Apex Legends. Apex is an amazing game. I still really enjoy it to this day, but I needed to take a step away because I was burning myself out by putting so many hours into the game. I hit a particular patch of updates that I didn't really enjoy. The characters I liked playing were in a very bad spot. And as a result, I decided to give the game a break. Recently, I relapsed a little bit and re-downloaded Apex Legends, and I decided to come back and kind of approach it just as a casual, fun game to play on the side. And while treating it like that, I have really enjoyed the experience. Things are different enough that I'm exploring new things, but in a lot of ways it feels like coming home because I'm so familiar with the mechanics of this particular game. But with that said, if I had just forced myself to continue playing while I was having a terrible time, I wouldn't enjoy the current state of Apex Legends as much as I do. I needed to take that time away. I needed to take that step back and experience other things so that I could enjoy the game more when I came back. I think that's one thing that not enough people talk about, is that you need to take time away from your game of choice sometimes just so you don't drive yourself crazy. Objectively, I think with Fortnite that the weapons and items currently on offer are great. I think that the secondary objectives that we have on the map, like hunting down bugs to increase our rank to get better item drops, is a great mechanic and a lot of fun. And I think that dropping in with a squad of other players or your friends in Fortnite will always be a joy. The game is competitive enough that you feel engaged, but not so serious that you can't just sit back and have fun with your boys. And that's a pretty great and rare thing. Games like Apex Legends are teammate focused, but they feel a lot more stressful, and having a team almost feels like a hindrance in other Battle Royale games, but not in Fortnite in my experience. There are objectively good things to enjoy about the current state of Fortnite, but I can understand if you cannot see those things or appreciate them because you have been locked into the machine for so long. With my recent visit on Apex Legends, I know I wouldn't enjoy the game as much as I do currently if I had just forced myself to continue playing it when I didn't enjoy the game. And I don't want that for those of you that watch my videos. I don't want you to force yourself to continue to play a game you're not enjoying just because it's your main game, or you've invested a couple hundred hours into the game and you feel like you're wasting your time if you're not playing it. Take a step away if needed. You will thank yourself and you will enjoy that game that you love even more when you return. In my experience, if you try to be all in on one game, then you are setting yourself up to be let down. Any live service game has to have new content to continue to grow and thrive, and as it turns out, not every update can be a banger. It can't be a great change every single time. Live service studios will make missteps, they will make mistakes, they will experiment with things that don't turn out the way you would have liked them to. And it's perfectly fine to take some time away, not only to clear your own mind, but to let the developers know that you didn't really enjoy that experience. Hopefully they'll be able to take that kind of feedback and make the game even better when you do return. If you're somebody who's played Fortnite for a long time and find yourself burnt out at this point in the season, I would encourage you to check out some of those games in your backlog. Check out other multiplayer experiences with your friends, or finally complete one of those single-player games you've been putting off. This time of the season is a perfect time to kind of take a little vacation so that you can return refreshed and excited for what's next. I think if you're able to do that, you will not only enjoy Fortnite more, but you will find that the entire hobby of playing games is more enjoyable for you as well. In my experience, the worst thing I could do is make something that is supposed to be relaxing for me, fulfilling and enjoyable, into something that stresses me out more. And by me continuing to try and play these games that I've played for hundreds of hours, that I'm tired of, that are in states that I'm not quite enjoying, I'm only making that experience worse for myself, and something that was supposed to refill my cup just drains more out of it. If something like this resonates with you, I would challenge you to try something different. Just take a break, a couple of days, a week or two, and then come back and see how you feel about your experience. I personally think you won't regret it. But those are just my thoughts on everything. Make sure to let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I want to know what you think about the current state of Fortnite, about live service game Burnout, and about what you guys think we need to do to make sure that we continue to enjoy this hobby that we all love, playing these live service multiplayer and battle royale games. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, especially since it was a little different than my normally fully scripted videos. Hopefully it wasn't too distracting or rambly. Make sure to like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, and hype it up if you can. If you have not already subscribed, please consider doing so. We are trying to reach 2,000 subs by the end of the year, and any and all help with that would be greatly appreciated. But with all that said, I'm gonna go ahead and go take my dog for a walk. I hope you guys have an amazing day. I'm Haunted House, and as always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch the video today. Remember to eat well, stay hydrated, take care of yourself and those around you. And I'll see you in the next one, friends.